Low tide at 5:05 a.m. High tide at 5:05 p.m. At Pensacola Bay on Wednesday, low tide at 1:25 a.m. High tide at 2:43 p.m. At Pensacola Bay on Thursday, low tide at 2:48 a.m. High tide at 3:42 p.m. At the East Pass in Destin on Wednesday, low tide at 12:51 a.m. High tide at 2:10 p.m. At the East Pass in Destin on Thursday, low tide at 2:14 a.m. High tide at 3:09 p.m. This is NOAA Weather Radio from the Mobile, Pensacola National Weather Service. The current time is 7:12 p.m. Central Standard Time. There is a high risk of rip currents for the following areas in Alabama, Baldwin Coastal and Mobile Coastal, and the following areas in Florida, Escambia Coastal, Okaloosa Coastal, and Santa Rosa Coastal. High rip current risk remains in effect through late tonight. What? Dangerous rip currents. Where? In Alabama, Baldwin Coastal and Mobile Coastal counties. In Florida, Santa Rosa Coastal, Okaloosa Coastal, and Escambia Coastal counties. When? Through late tonight. Impacts. Rip currents can sweep even the best swimmers away from shore into deeper water. Swim near a lifeguard. If caught in a rip current, relax and float. Don't swim against the current. If able, swim in a direction following the shoreline. If unable to escape, face the shore and call or wave for help. Here's your marine forecast. On the weather map, the passage of a warm front up over the coast through this evening, as well as the passage of a cold front on Wednesday, which will then likely stall and meander over the marine area, will result in winds switching back and forth from southerly to northerly through Thursday. Additionally, near-shore patchy fog will be possible tonight. Strengthening southerly flow is then finally established on Friday ahead of a strong cold front. The front moves through Friday night with strong northwesterly flow in its wake, with gusts to gale force likely on North Mobile Bay. Small craft should exercise caution tonight. For tonight, southeast winds 8 to 13 knots becoming southwest 13 to 18 knots. Waves around 2 feet. Patchy fog. Slight chance of showers and thunderstorms in the evening. Showers and chance of thunderstorms after midnight. For Wednesday, northwest winds 13 to 18 knots becoming north 8 to 13 knots. Waves around 1 foot. Chance of showers and slight chance of thunderstorms. For Wednesday night, northeast winds 8 to 13 knots becoming north. Waves around 1 foot. Showers likely and slight chance of thunderstorms. And for Thursday, north winds 8 to 13 knots becoming east 3 to 8 knots. Waves around 1 foot. Slight chance of showers in the morning. On South Mobile Bay. Small craft should exercise caution tonight. For tonight, southeast winds 8 to 13 knots becoming southwest 15 to 20 knots. Waves 1 to 2 feet. Patchy fog. Showers and chance of thunderstorms after midnight. For Wednesday, northwest winds 15 to 20 knots becoming north 13 to 18 knots. Waves 1 to 2 feet. Chance of showers and slight chance of thunderstorms in the morning, then showers likely and chance of thunderstorms in the afternoon.
Alrighty guys, what is going on? Sorry we have such a late start today. I got some good news for you guys. I ended up buying WSV3. I'm not going to use it in this stream, but I will in future streams and stuff like that. It was a last-minute decision. Honestly, I probably should have waited until the end. But anyways, guys, I hope y'all are having a great day so far. I hope you guys are staying safe here. And I'm going to be here for you guys 100% of the way here if you have any questions. Let's go ahead and see. Let's see who's in the chat here. Jenny, I know you're in chat. Courtney, you as well. What's up, Maple? What's up, Pilot? What's up, you guys? Hope y'all are doing good here. Hope you guys are having a great day so far. So, let's go and see here. Echo Top's 41,000 feet, and there's Mixed Layer Cape around 1,400 to 1,500. That's a decent amount of instability, not gonna lie. But honestly, guys, Hope y'all are having a great day so far. So we're going to go ahead and kick off what is actually going on here across the nation. We're taking a look here at the radar view in regard to what's actually happening here right now across the country. Now, you might notice there is a bit that's actually going on here. We have a lot of rain that's currently falling here across the southeast into the Tennessee Valley. This will continue to push its way up here to the northeast, and this might deliver some snowfall, kind of across bits of the Mid-Atlantic, maybe even into bits of the northeast. We'll see how this plays out here. There's multiple different sources that are saying there's not going to be much, and then there's multiple sources that are saying that there is going to be a lot. So we'll see. We'll see what happens here. We'll see what happens here. Jenny wants to ask, what are echo tops? So basically, an echo top is the highest, cloud that the radar has picked up. Basically, the tops of the thunderstorms, all the way to the top of the thunderstorm. So, for example, Maple just said 35,000 feet. That is a 35,000 foot echo top, meaning that the storm top is going up over 35,000 feet. That's how high those tops are in thunderstorms. So like I said, we are dealing with a lot of moisture, and you know what's going on right now is we have a lot of warm air driving its way into the southeast. And if you saw our video earlier, you would have saw what I said that as well. Now, this is going to continue tracking its way here across the Mid-Atlantic into the northeast. Now, this, like I said, this might deliver some snowfall across the bits of the Mid-Atlantic here. Northern Virginia kind of being the lowest in terms of snowfall being possible. So we'll see. We'll see what happens here. And according to this radar view, there is a bit of snow that actually is currently ongoing here. Across bits of western Kentucky as well as bits of northern Arkansas into southern Missouri. This was not really picked up that well in models. And like I said, this radar program is a bit sketchy here sometimes when it comes to precipitation type. Buzz, so what's up? What's up, Buzz? Matt also says, good evening. I'm new to your channel. Well, obviously, Matt, welcome. Hope you're doing good. I hope you're having a wonderful night. But obviously, welcome. Hope you're doing good, man. But like I said, we are seeing a bit of snow as well as a bit of rain that's currently ongoing here across bits of the southeast here. And like I said, this will continue to track its way up here to the northeast, maybe delivering some snow across bits of northern Virginia at the lowest point. Like I said, we'll look at the models here in 1 second. Obviously, welcome if you guys are just now joining here. Jonathan, what's up, Jonathan? Glad to see you here again tonight. Hope you're doing good, man. So like I said, we're going to go ahead and move on over here to the future radar. We're going to take a look at what is expected to happen here down the line. But first, before we do that, like I said, we are dealing with all this moisture. This will track its way up here to the northeast. As well as we have a lot of moisture, a lot of snow showers that's currently kind of kicking off here across those upper elevations here. Across the upper northwest, as well as across the Rocky Mountains here. Now, eventually what's going to happen is we are going to get all of this moisture, all of these snow showers, driving their way across the central parts of the country. Now, this will actually allow for some snow accumulation to kind of kick off here. Essentially across bits of the central plains. That is kind of what we are expecting to see here. Seriously. I was going to see, Pilot says, could it snow in Nashville? There's a possibility. There is actually 2 systems we are monitoring here. There's one, this system that's getting ready to drive its way through the region now. For this system, I don't think so. But for the next system, like I said, we are likely going to see some snow across to the southeast, across the Ohio Valley as well, into the Mid-Atlantic and northeast. There is the possibility we actually could see that. So, like I said, we'll look at the models here in 1 second. So, we're going to go ahead, guys, and switch right on over here to the future radar view in regard to what we're expected to see here down the line. So, we're going to go ahead and do that here right now. We're going to go ahead and switch on over to my screen view. So, this is the radar view. We're going to go ahead and zoom in a little bit, make this a little bit more easier to read here somewhat. If you guys do want to follow along in time here it's for 8 o'clock p.m. Obviously right now it's 8:20, but this is for the future radar view. So if you do want to follow us along here, right here's the time in the upper right-hand corner. So remember, this is in Eastern time as well. So basically, we're looking at the Central time right now, across bits of the southeast. This is an hour ahead, so it would be actually 7 o'clock here. So we track down here in time. We'll notice that all of this moisture continues to drive its way up here across the bits of the southeast into the Tennessee Valley here, as well as the Mid-Atlantic. Buzz says, is West Virginia getting snow? But West Virginia will get some snow here. There's actually some winter weather advisories that are in effect across northeastern West Virginia. We'll get to those more here in a second. Like I said, all of this snow shower activity will become into more of consistent snowfall as it continues to track its way here to the east, as you will see, eventually impacting bits of southern Nebraska into bits of Kansas. So we go ahead and progress down here a few scans here. And then look at this. Latest models are showing the possibility, a little bit more higher in terms of snowfall now, showing a little bit less snowfall for Northern Virginia, and mostly being a rain event, it looks like. So we'll see. We'll see what happens here. There's a lot of models that are going both ways. Some models are saying there's going to be much snow, and some says there's really not going to be much at all. So we'll see how this plays out. Like I said, we're going to continue to start seeing some snow here across both the central parts of the country as well as bits of the northeast here. So we're going to start to see that transition from rain into snow, it looks like, kind of around the early morning hours here, maybe around 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, as that colder air starts to interact at the top of the system here. And this will continue across the northeast, driving some snowfall. Like I said, we'll look at the accumulations here in a second in regard to things here. Yeah, but that's what we are seeing here. Let's go and see here. Pilot says it just started raining. It's about to rain here relatively soon. I live here in Northern Virginia, and it's slowly creeping its way up here, but it'll be here within the next few hours. But like I said, we continue down the line here, and all the snow will drive its way across bits of the central plains here. Like I said, across bits of northern Kansas into Nebraska here, even bits of the Midwest. Eventually this will continue to track its way here to the east. So all of this disorganized snow showers will eventually become organized into more of a consistent snowfall here. So that is what we are seeing here down the line. That is kind of what we are expecting. Now, in regard to accumulation out of this model, I just want to let you know that the NAM model is kind of crazy sometimes. If you guys are in the weather community, you know exactly what I'm talking about here. So we're just going to go ahead and project it all down. We're just going to see exactly how much snow we are expecting here in regard to this so far. So, like I said, this model is kind of showing a lot of that snowfall just kind of being more north of Northern Virginia now. Some for the upper elevations here. Kind of what we are expecting here, but honestly, there's really like no more than, I would say no more than 5 inches is expected here. Like I said, this model is a bit crazy, and it does tend to throw some crazy things out there, but what we're expecting is a totally different outcome compared to what this model has to say. Like I said, you really can't just trust one model individually here, because each model has really its own opinion. So, same thing, but across the central plains is kind of where we are expecting a little bit more snow to occur here, especially across bits of northern Kansas into southern Nebraska. Kind of where we are expecting the heaviest accumulations here. We'll dive more in depth in this here in a second when we look at the actual, the full-on snow models, Ecmwf, GFS, NAM, RAP, etc. There goes my camera for the first time. That's the first time today. So let's go ahead and reset this camera. I don't even know what's going on. Honestly, I keep on forgetting to figure out what is going on with this camera. It does it a lot. And the crazy thing is the fact that it didn't do this on my 13-hour stream I did that one day. But it did decide to do it literally just now. And we haven't even been live for, 10 minutes or so. Kind of crazy. But yeah, that is what we are looking at here. So I tell you what. Let's go ahead and look at the forecast models in regard to things here. We're going to look at the overall expectancy of essentially, snow across both the Mid-Atlantic and into bits of the central part of the country here. I guess we're going to go ahead and start off with the Mid-Atlantic because that's the more imminent snow event that's getting ready to kick off here. So, like I said, currently what's going on here, we got all this moisture driving its way up. We currently are seeing this currently ongoing here at the moment. And eventually this will transition into snow. And according to GFS, it shows pretty heavy snow. We're talking some probably, pretty quick accumulation rates here, which is going to allow for, maybe a decent amount of snowfall. Definitely with some of these snow bands, things could get a little bit more aggressive in terms of maybe more snowfall accumulation over a shorter period of time. Now, this will continue to track its way here to the northeast, maybe delivering some snow here. But this is more of your low resolution model. We'll dive into the higher resolution models as we continue on here. But that is what we are expecting here as of right now, according to this model. Now, if you look at the snowfall accumulations, really not much of a change compared to the previous model that we actually did see earlier. Still showing some of that snow diving its way down here, basically into bits of northwestern Virginia here. Kind of for those upper elevations where it is a bit colder. Essentially, we're still looking at maybe 2 to 4 inches across a lot of these areas here. Locally higher amounts could be possible, especially across bits of eastern Maryland into southeastern Pennsylvania. Definitely could be a possibility right around in here. So that is what we are expecting in terms of this. And we have a possibility of a trace all the way down here across western Kentucky, all the way up here into the northeast. Kind of what we are expecting in regard to things as of now. So we're just going to have to continue looking at this. It's right here on our doorstep now. So we'll look at these other models here real quick. There goes my camera again. It really loves to mess up, doesn't it? Took me a little bit to realize that. It's probably been messing up here for some time now. Let's see. I think my camera's having so much issues right now. So sorry about that. A little bit of technical difficulties, but when aren't we having those? I mean, come on. It's always happening. Okay. We're back. So, Pilot says, okay, so Thursday night there will be snow. So Pilot, watch this. We'll get to this further down the line here in a second. Actually, let's just go ahead and project this here now. There's a possibility. Okay, do not take these totals to be exact. But there is a possibility we might see some heavy snow here. And like I said, a cold front's going to drive its way through the region here. And on the back end of this cold front, we're likely going to see some, essentially some heavy snowfall. So we'll see how this plays out. This model is very aggressive right now. And the fact it's showing a lot. In terms of your Ecmwf model, this one's also quite aggressive. Very crazy to look at. So we'll watch this. We'll continue watching this here over the next little bit. Pilot says, this camera, I tell you. And the weird thing is whenever I do video calls, like with my friends and family, it never glitches. It only does it on YouTube for some reason. And I don't know exactly why. Andrea says, is there going to be snow in Dallas-Fort Worth on Friday? Okay, guys, we'll get to that more here in a second. Right now, I kind of want to discuss what is kicking off here right now. I'll take more questions in a little bit here. So, like I said, Ecmwf, they're showing the potential of some very, very heavy snowfall here. Kind of what we are expecting to occur. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and go back now to the storm that's imminent. So we're going to go ahead and switch over to our NAM model in regard to snowfall accumulation here. Now, this one's showing a complete different story. One, a lot less snowfall for bits of the regions here, a lot less snowfall for Pennsylvania, but more, still showing that decent amount here across bits of southern Pennsylvania, also a lot less for northwestern Virginia. There's obviously a lot of disagreement between those two models, which is showing that there is still some questions out there in regard to, is this actually going to play out, or are we just going to see a possible bust here? Now, we'll see. We'll see how this plays out here in regard to things, so we'll see how this continues to unfold here. Now, let's go ahead and look at the RAP model. This is another American model. This one is a rapid refresh model. So let's go ahead and track down here. This one doesn't go out that far, so let's go ahead and go all the way over here. Apparently I wasn't even on the right time. There we go. Okay, so this one's kind of taking the similarities between both your GFS and your NAM model. This one is showing the heaviest accumulation most likely occurring here across bits of the eastern side of Maryland to southeastern Pennsylvania. According to these models, that's what we are seeing essentially. That is what we are seeing essentially in terms of the trends here. But for the most of the people here, we are seeing potentially mostly 2 to 4 inches across a lot of these areas here, kind of especially in this kind of light blue shade area here. This is where we are expecting the most snowfall accumulations to occur in regard to the system. So really, it's not too much snowfall. Even if the worst does happen, say this does happen here, it's really not the most snowfall, but there can still be impacts, and there still most likely will be impacts out of this if this does materialize into something like this. So then we have our NAMNEST model. This is a much higher resolution model, still American model here, but this one's showing a lot less snowfall for bits of eastern Maryland as well as southeastern Pennsylvania. So you see what I'm saying here? There's a lot of agreements, or there's a lot of disagreements, I should say, between what these models have to say. Some of them are showing no snow at all across bits of Virginia. Some of them are showing a lot of snow across bits of Virginia. Some are showing the heaviest amount across bits of eastern Maryland and southeastern Pennsylvania, and others are not. So there's really a lot of questions to be asked at this moment, considering just how different these models are such short period of time. And a lot of it is is the fact of the battle of the temperatures. That's the thing. We're right here on the boundary between it transitioning from snow into rain, or rain into snow, depending on which way you look at it. We're right there on that boundary, which can easily flip-flop back and forth. So we'll see. We'll see what happens here. Now, here's the HRRR model. This is the last one we're going to look at here in regard to snowfall accumulation. This is our high-resolution rapid refresh. This one shows kind of a mixture between all these models we're saying here. Overall, we are still expecting some snow to occur across bits of Pennsylvania. This one shows the heaviest across south-central Pennsylvania here. That is what we are seeing here at the moment in regard to things. So that's what we're looking at currently at the moment. Like I said, we'll continue watching this over the next little bit. Like I said, we'll be live tomorrow night, so we'll be able to discuss this as it's ongoing in terms of how much has already fallen, as well as how much more we can expect here. But just right now, just take what I had to say based off of what we know. There's a lot of model disagreement, so overall there's a lot of uncertainties here. Now, I tell you what, we're going to go ahead and move on over here to the, let's go and take a look here at the National Weather Service forecast in regard to our expected snowfall accumulation. So if you're going to trust any of them, this is the one you should probably trust. Considering this one takes, National Weather Service employees' opinions into consideration, as well as models and observations. So this one's kind of showing the same story between what most of the models said. A lot of the heavy snow across bits of the Northeast here. But this one's showing a lot less across bits of Northern Virginia. Now, obviously, there is a greater potential of some heavier snowfall across those upper elevations here, across the Blue Ridge Mountains. Kind of the best case scenario here of seeing the most snow across bits of Virginia is up across those upper elevations here. Now, as we go up even higher in altitude, the colder it does get across Northeast and West Virginia, we are obviously expecting maybe a few inches here. So that is what we are talking about. So I see that you guys have a few questions here. So let's go ahead and take some of these questions here. All right. So first, Andreas says, "Is there going to be snow in Dallas, Fort Worth on Friday?" Blake says, "Hello. What's up, Blake? Welcome to the live stream. Hope you're doing good, man. Glad to see you here." So is there going to be snow in Dallas, Fort Worth on Friday? So let's look at the models. We'll go ahead and go back here. We'll look at GFS first. Like I said, you really can't just trust one model individually. So Dallas being the region right up in here in regard to snowfall. We'll go ahead and pull up GFS here, Global Forecast System, basically your American model, long-range American model here. This is showing maybe some snow here. Let's go and see here. You said for Friday, there is a possibility. Yeah, according to this latest model here anyways. Let's see. We'll see. I'm going to go ahead and go back a model here. Let's go back a run. Shows a little bit less snow, okay. Back a run from that. Okay, so it seems like it is trending into more heavier snowfall over the last several model runs of GFS. Kind of what we are seeing here. So this needs additional monitoring. I mean, obviously this can still change here. This hasn't been in the runs for too long, it looks like. Let's try ECMWF. Yeah, this one shows a possibility of as well. Okay, so there is a bit of support here. It looks like it's growing support, by the way. Okay, so it looks like the European model has picked up support on this first. But it really didn't start kicking off till today. Latest model really doesn't show much, does it? Or maybe a little bit, yeah. So I wouldn't expect more than an inch right now. I mean, obviously, it's still a little bit too early to tell. There is still a lot of disagreements here. It really just depends on the factor of temperatures outside. And temperatures that cross your upper levels of the atmosphere. If it's warmer across the upper levels, it'll most likely be rain. But if it's colder, better chance for snow. So it's a possibility, to answer your question there, Andreas. Let's go and see. Pilot says, will it snow Friday or Thursday night into Nashville, Tennessee? So let's go ahead and take a look here across bits of the region here. We'll actually go ahead and go back to the Mid-Atlantic here because it does cover Tennessee. So Tennessee, honestly, there is a possibility that Tennessee could see some snow here. Yeah, definitely a major possibility here. Friday and the Saturday. Like I said, behind that cold front, there is likely going to be some heavy snowfall across the region there. So we will see how this plays out here. Like I said, the models over the last several bit have been showing snow reaching this far south. I mean, look at this. We're going to go ahead and go back to GFS model. This was your European. Look, they both agree on it, and GFS is honestly a lot more aggressive here. So if we track down and back another model, or back another run here, there you go. It's still there. A little bit different, though. I mean, obviously, it's still going to fluctuate a bit, but the support of this overall system is there. So we'll see what this does. Back to 00Z here. So yeah, back to 00Z. You can see it trends it heavy. Latest two 060 and 12Z kind of show it fading out a little bit, but then the latest model again is like, yep, right back at it. So I will say there is a bit of agreement. There goes my camera again, guys. Let's go ahead and pull this back up here. Yeah, sorry about the freeze frames here. Definitely not the first time it's done this. I can tell you that. Definitely not. Pilot says, let's go. Yeah, so Pilot, definitely a major possibility here. And Andreas, there's a small possibility for you, but that still needs additional monitoring. I would say the Pilot has a better chance of seeing it than Andreas so far. So yeah, that's what we are talking about. But anyways, guys, like I said, if you are new to the channel, do me a favor, consider hitting that subscribe button. It'll be greatly appreciated. You guys are the best. I really do appreciate all your support here. I believe that someone else had a question as well. I don't want to miss out on anyone here. Jonathan says, is there severe weather tonight or tomorrow for Rutledge, Georgia? That's a very good question here. And I'll tell you what, we're going to look at the Storm Prediction Center right now. So for tonight, no. There's not going to be any severe weather for tonight. The only severe threat is here across bits of, southeastern Louisiana, southern portion here of Mississippi, southern Alabama, as well as basically bits of southern Alabama, like I said, as well as, western side here of, Florida. Kind of where we are seeing our severe threat for today. This is for later on tonight, I should say, in regard to things. So, in terms of tornadoes, we have a 5% chance of seeing tornadoes here. The chance is low, but the potential impact is actually large, and the reason we say this. So 5% chance we could see a tornado, but that does cover a large distance with that 5% chance. So this does cover Mobile, Alabama, the major city here of Mobile, as well as Pensacola, Florida. You guys are inside this 5% zone. New Orleans is inside the 2%, just stretching out a little bit further. So this is covering about 2.8 million people. That has the potential of seeing some severe weather here for tonight. That is definitely a possibility here. Now, things are going to get crazier for tomorrow. Now, across Georgia, you're probably going to see some severe weather here across central and southern Georgia. The greatest threat, once again, being here in this yellow slight risk area here. Now, this does include Tallahassee, Florida, Savannah, Georgia, Charleston, South Carolina, as well as North Charleston and Albany. Kind of what we are expecting here. In terms of the heaviest threat, being inside of that slight risk here. So then we have that larger marginal risk here: Jacksonville, Florida; Columbus, Georgia; Gainesville, Florida; Fayetteville, North Carolina; and Columbia, South Carolina. Going out a little bit further out, this one covers over 10 million people, and the possibility of seeing severe weather here. So obviously, tomorrow's threat is going to be larger than it will be tonight, as this cold front continues to press its way through the region here. So that's essentially what we are talking about. So, like I said, tornadoes, there's also a 5% chance for tomorrow, too. This one does cover a large area here. People that are inside of this covers about 2 million people, about 32,000 square miles inside of this 5% zone here. Smaller 2% zone, or I should say larger 2% zone. Smaller chance, though. 72,000 miles, 7.4 million people inside of this. So that's what we're looking at, guys. That's what we are seeing here. In terms of damaging winds, we have a 15% chance of seeing damaging winds, likely 60 miles per hour or more. The 5% chance spreading out a little bit further here. Actually, the slight risk is actually covering more ground than the 5% chances than a margin risk. So there's more of a slight risk than a marginal risk here for the damaging wind potential. And we have the lowest threat for hail, maybe getting up to an inch in diameter and greater. Kind of what we are expecting here in regard to things. So we'll just see what happens here. Then we move on to day 3. You don't see anything, but day 4. Look at this. We have another threat here. Cross bits of Florida, as well as cross bits of southern Alabama and 2 basically bits of Georgia. I don't know if this is... because this is kind of covering the same range here as day 2. Huh. Okay, so this is Wednesday into Thursday. This is Thursday into Friday. This is Friday into Saturday. I don't know if that's a glitch on the Storm Prediction Center's end, because it's covering around the same area that we are seeing here. It's kind of hard to tell, because like I said, it does cover like the same areas here. We can look at models, I guess, in regard to things. I do kind of want to take a look at what we can expect here in regard to these events. So let's go ahead and go down to the southeast. I want to look at the instability in the atmosphere because, like I said, I really haven't looked at much in the severe weather world here. that is expected to go on here. So obviously we have some advection going on. All that warm air driving its way up here across the southeast, basically, which is allowing for all this rain to occur. Eventually driving its way up here into my local region here in the Mid-Atlantic. Now this is actually showing a decent amount of energy in the atmosphere. I mean, any value really over 500 is a pretty good amount to cause for some severe weather, and especially for this time of the year, we're actually seeing over 1,000 joules per kilogram. That is a lot of instability here in place across Georgia for tomorrow. Kind of a limited amount of instability here. I mean, we're talking, maybe around, actually a little bit higher than I thought. We're talking 700, 800, 900 joules per kilogram, which is definitely enough to allow for severe weather to pop off here. But that's just an instability alone. Really can't go off of that alone. So I'll tell you what, we're going to go ahead and take a sounding here across bits of southern Alabama. Now, I'm sure you guys are not going to know what you're about to see, or not going to know how to read it. Don't worry, it's not as scary as it looks. Actually, this almost drove me away from learning meteorology. Not going to lie, considering how scary it looked. But once you learn the dynamics, it's really not that bad. So we're just going to be paying attention to this side right now, okay, where the X is. So imagine this. Here's the surface of the ground, the lower levels of the atmosphere, and here's the upper levels, way up in the sky, way over 15 kilometers. So that's pretty high up there. So the red line you see here, didn't mean to do that. The little red squiggly line you see going on here, this is actually your outside temperature at that level of the atmosphere. And this dot where I'm drawing here, this is actually your freezing point. So if anything's back here, it's freezing. If anything's in front of this, it's above freezing. And as we can see, our temperature gets below freezing right here, just around 4 or 5 kilometers, as we can tell here. So like I said, this is what we are looking at. Now the line between your dotted blue line, the little dotted blue line you see right here, and the red line, this determines where your energy is in the atmosphere. That's what we were just looking at here. So between the red and the blue dotted line here, there is some instability there, which will allow for thunderstorms. And you can see that red line crosses the dotted blue line here essentially right at around 10, 11 kilometers here. So that's where you see a little EL. This stands for your equilibrium level, basically where the atmosphere kind of reaches an equal state and is no longer unstable. So essentially, this is how high your thunderstorms will get, maybe up to 10 kilometers. Kind of what we are expecting here. I hope that made sense for you guys. I'm trying to explain this as best I can. So we are having a lot of instability. Honestly, this is enough instability to allow for thunderstorms to kick off here. Over 1,000, definitely good values here. DK, downdraft energy basically. Over 500, which might allow for some damaging winds, because your damaging winds come in the downdraft. Basically, you have your updraft. What goes up must come down. And what comes down here is your downdraft. Basically an exhaust, like an engine. So essentially, we have enough energy inside of that engine, inside of the exhaust here, or the downdraft, to allow for damaging winds to occur. Definitely a possibility. So in terms of tornadoes, our winds here, this is our winds. So basically, the way that these little knobs are pointing here, they're all pointing to the northeast. So these are all the winds that are moving to the northeast from the lower portions of the atmosphere all the way up. So it's just straight lines, just straight winds moving in the same pattern. So tornadoes, probably not going to be a concern. Probably not going to be a major concern anyways. Now, could a few tornadoes pop off? Possibly, because we still have that risk. But according to this sounding, nah, it doesn't really look like it. Even though it says weak tornado, but you can't just go off that. Obviously, you just can't go off that. We're looking for our dew points here. Basically, our moisture supply here is in the 60s, upper 60s, which is very supportive of severe weather. I give that an A+. That is honestly spot on. 60s is the best ballpark zoning, especially upper 60s, into the 70s. That's really good moisture at the surface. Let's go ahead and see here. Lewis says, stop to say hi to you all. Sorry I'm working and I can't stay long. We'll watch replay later. Well, all right, Lua. Well, I'm glad to see you. I'm glad that you got to join in and say hi. Yeah, glad that you got to stop by. So thank you for joining. Hope you're having a wonderful night here. And like I said, after this live stream, this will be up, so you guys can watch it again if you want to, in regard to things. So, guys, that is what we are seeing here. So overall, chance for mostly damaging winds out of this sounding here. Now, for tomorrow, we're going to do the same thing here. We're going to grab another sounding across southeastern Georgia. Now, we're seeing a lot of instability here, a lot of energy in the atmosphere. So we're going to see what this does. So this one's slightly contaminated. I'm going to grab a different sounding here because they have those little red bars moving their way into the, basically the thermodynamics, what we call them, or the thermos. Alright, so if these little red lines here cross this larger kind of pink dotted line, if they go into this side here, it's contaminated and just trash the sounding. Just giving you guys an idea. So this way is showing those storm tops much higher here, actually well near 12 kilometers. A lot of energy, a lot more energy. Wow, almost near 1,500 compared to that 1,000 sounding we saw. So there is 3 times as much energy that's needed for severe thunderstorms to kick off. That's a lot of energy in the atmosphere, honestly. And like I said, D-Cape is a little bit lower on this sounding, so, honestly, there still is the possibility that we could see maybe some damaging winds, but they're probably not going to be as widespread here. There is a slight varying wind shear pattern. You can see right here on your photograph, basically just looking at the winds from the surface, like right here, basically northeast to east-northeast. So there is a slight wind directional change as you go up in the atmosphere, which might allow for some kickoff, or some spin to kick off, which might allow for some tornadoes. Hail. Nah, hail doesn't really seem to be a threat either for the sounding in particular. So I would say mostly just gusty winds and maybe a tornado or two could be possible out of that sounding. So we'll see what goes on here. But like I said, guys, if you're just now joining in, obviously welcome. Hope y'all are having a wonderful day today. I hope y'all are, hope you guys are staying safe here. And if you have any questions, like I said, feel free to throw them down in the chat. Marcus says, you're doing quite well, young man. Keep up the good work in professional meteorologist news broadcast. That is really inspiring to see how the youth community are inspired. Well, obviously, Marcus, thank you so much. That seriously means a lot to me. Seriously, thank you so much. It's good to hear a good compliment like that every once in a while. Because, believe it or not, in the weather community, people can be pretty harsh sometimes, especially for new people who are starting out. I've ran into that problem, but seriously, I really do appreciate that. Thank you so much. Like I said, guys, I'm just here for you all. Obviously, our main goal here is just to make sure you guys are safe and make sure you guys are prepared for these events. That's why we do live streams every night to ensure you of what we might see here down the line. Like I said, during all these crazy severe weather events, we usually go live as well. Tomorrow, I'll probably go live at some point, but I do have work tomorrow too. So I'll see how things go. Not sure how long tomorrow is going to be. I'm going to be at work. It really just depends on the calls and how quick we get the job done. Because if you don't know, I'm actually an assistant plumber because my dad owns his own business. And essentially, it just depends on how quick we get it done. It depends on how quick we get this done. But depending on that, I will likely go live after when I get home. So just be prepared for that. So then we have a lot of instability here, a lot of energy still across the southeast. I mean, this is even showing it in bits of Florida. So let's take a sounding across central Florida, kind of near the Orlando region here. We'll see what's going on here. So this one's showing a little bit more weaker winds. Now, this can have, this can actually struggle to allow for thunderstorms to keep on continuing here, but there is a lot of energy in the atmosphere. This one has a larger damaging wind potential. That D-Cape's right here around 700. So honestly, we could see some damaging winds, maybe up to 60 to 70 mile per hour winds. That's pretty crazy, honestly. Seriously. This one also does show the possibility of maybe some hail, because we have a relatively dry atmosphere across the mid-levels. That could support some hail. So this one's showing maybe some hail if the updraft can support it, because like I said, the winds are a little bit weak here, and some damaging winds. So tornadoes, nah, I really don't think a tornado is going to be a concern here. I think it might just be hail, maybe some small hail, as well as maybe some damaging winds here. But that's what we are seeing here in regard to this. But if you guys are just now joining us, welcome. Hope you all are having a great day so far. Hope you guys are staying safe. Like I said, if you have any questions, I'll be here for you guys. And if you have any questions specifically on the upcoming severe weather, as well as maybe even the snow that's coming up here, feel free to throw them down in the chat below. I will definitely be here for you guys 100% of the way. So, guys, that's essentially what we are talking about here. Like I said, we are dealing with a decent amount of instability in the atmosphere. The wind shear is a little bit on the weaker side, but it should allow for still some storms to pop off here. So overall, compared to what we did see on these soundings, hail, large hail possibly, tornadoes and damaging winds, is probably going to be a concern. Jenny says no tornadoes. Seriously, I kind of think that tornadoes will be a concern, unfortunately. And like I said, we're just now starting to creep our way slowly into spring, and events like this are only going to become more common here. So right now is a good time that we should start preparing for these type of events here. It's definitely a good thing to exercise. There goes my camera again. Definitely a good thing to exercise here. Exercise caution as well as, things. So, like I said, guys, just know that we're here for you. James says, good evening here. Or obviously good evening, James here. I want to get it clear. Okay. Marcus says, because you'd be really surprised just how many unknown dimensional levels of creatures currently listening as well. Keep your eyes in the heavens. Well, thank you so much, Marcus. Greatly appreciated. Seriously, I do appreciate those comments. But yeah, like I said, guys, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Like I said, if you have any questions, I will be here for y'all. So I'll tell you what, guys, we're going to go ahead and head on to break here for 1 second. I'm probably going to stay live a little bit later, maybe till 9:15 because of how late I did start here, because I was fiddling with the program I was trying to get working. But like I said, we'll be back here in about 5 or 10 minutes or so give us till about 9 o'clock. We'll be back at 9:15. So go grab yourself, we'll be back at 9 o'clock, I should say, and we'll stream until 9:15. So if you guys have any questions, think of some questions here, because, like I said, we'll be back here relatively soon. If you are new to the channel, guys, do me a favor. Consider hitting that subscribe button. Be greatly appreciated. I'm sure it'll be worth your time, guys, and you guys will not be disappointed. Because, like I said, we give you all the latest weather information, what you can expect down the line, as well as during the event. We are here for you guys, 100% of the way. If you guys do want to support the channel as well, we do have our link in the description. Be greatly appreciated. But, guys, we'll be back here momentarily, so hang tight. Go get yourself a snack. We'll be back here in a moment.
Southwest 13 to 18 knots. Waves around 2 feet. Patchy fog. Slight chance of showers and thunderstorms in the evening. Showers and chance of thunderstorms after midnight. For Wednesday, northwest winds 13 to 18 knots becoming north 8 to 13 knots. Waves around 1 foot. Chance of showers and slight chance of thunderstorms. For Wednesday night, northeast winds 8 to 13 knots becoming north. Waves around 1 foot. Showers likely and slight chance of thunderstorms. And for Thursday, north winds 8 to 13 knots becoming east 3 to 8 knots. Waves around 1 foot. Slight chance of showers in the morning. On South Mobile Bay. Small craft should exercise caution. For rest of tonight, southeast winds 8 to 13 knots becoming southwest 15 to 20 knots. Waves 1 to 2 feet. Patchy fog. Showers and chance of thunderstorms after midnight. For Wednesday, northwest winds 15 to 20 knots becoming north 13 to 18 knots. Waves 1 to 2 feet. Chance of showers and slight chance of thunderstorms in the morning, then showers likely and chance of thunderstorms in the afternoon. For Wednesday night, northeast winds 10 to 15 knots with gusts to around 20 knots, diminishing to 8 to 13 knots with gusts to around 20 knots. Waves 1 to 2 feet. Showers and slight chance of thunderstorms. And for Thursday, north winds 8 to 13 knots becoming east 3 to 8 knots. Waves around 1 foot. Slight chance of showers in the morning. On the Mississippi Sound. Small craft should exercise caution. For rest of tonight, southeast winds 8 to 13 knots becoming southwest 15 to 20 knots. Waves 1 to 3 feet. Patchy fog. Slight chance of showers and thunderstorms in the evening. Showers and chance of thunderstorms after midnight. For Wednesday, northwest winds 13 to 18 knots becoming north 10 to 15 knots. Waves 1 to 2 feet. Chance of showers and slight chance of thunderstorms in the morning, then showers likely and chance of thunderstorms in the afternoon. For Wednesday night, northeast winds 10 to 15 knots becoming north 8 to 13 knots. Waves 1 to 2 feet. Showers in the evening. Slight chance of thunderstorms. Showers likely after midnight. And for Thursday, north winds 8 to 13 knots becoming east 3 to 8 knots. Waves around 1 foot. Slight chance of showers in the morning. On the Perdido Bay Area. Small craft should exercise caution. For rest of tonight, southeast winds 8 to 13 knots becoming southwest 13 to 18 knots. Waves around 1 foot. Patchy fog. Showers and chance of thunderstorms after midnight. For Wednesday, northwest winds 10 to 15 knots becoming north 8 to 13 knots. Waves around 1 foot. Showers likely and chance of thunderstorms. For Wednesday night, northeast winds 8 to 13 knots becoming north. Waves around 1 foot. showers and slight chance of thunderstorms. And for Thursday, north winds 8 to 13 knots becoming south 3 to 8 knots. Waves around 1 foot. Chance of showers in the morning. From Pensacola to Pascagoula, and out 20 nautical miles. Small craft should exercise caution. For rest of tonight, southeast winds 10 to 15 knots becoming southwest 15 to 20 knots. Gusts up to 25 knots. Seas 3 to 4 feet. Dominant wave period 7 seconds. Patchy fog. Showers and chance of thunderstorms after midnight. For Wednesday, northwest winds 15 to 20 knots becoming north 13 to 18 knots. Gusts up to 25 knots. Seas 3 to 4 feet. Dominant wave period 6 seconds. Showers likely and chance of thunderstorms. For Wednesday night, northeast winds 10 to 15 knots. Gusts up to 20 knots. Seas 2 to 3 feet. Dominant wave period 6 seconds. Showers and slight chance of thunderstorms. And for Thursday, north winds 10 to 15 knots with gusts to around 20 knots becoming east 5 to 10 knots. Seas around 2 feet. Dominant wave period 6 seconds. Chance of showers in the morning. From Pensacola to Pascagoula, from 20 to 60 nautical miles offshore. Small craft should exercise caution. For rest of tonight, south winds 10 to 15 knots becoming southwest 15 to 20 knots. Seas 3 to 4 feet. Dominant wave period 7 seconds. Chance of showers and thunderstorms after midnight. For Wednesday, west winds 15 to 20 knots becoming north 13 to 18 knots. Seas 3 to 5 feet. Dominant wave period 6 seconds. Showers and chance of thunderstorms. For Wednesday night, northeast winds 10 to 15 knots increasing to 13 to 18 knots. Seas 2 to 4 feet. Dominant wave period 5 seconds. Showers and slight chance of thunderstorms. And for Thursday, north winds 13 to 18 knots becoming northeast 8 to 13 knots. Seas 2 to 3 feet. Dominant wave period 6 seconds. Chance of showers and slight chance of thunderstorms in the morning, then slight chance of showers in the afternoon. Tidal information at the mouth of the Mobile River on Wednesday, low tide at 3:37 a.m. High tide at 4:21 p.m. At the mouth of the Mobile River on Thursday, low tide at 5:05 a.m. High tide at 5:05 p.m. At Pensacola Bay on Wednesday, low tide at 1:25 a.m. High tide at 2:43 p.m. At Pensacola Bay on Thursday, low tide at 2:48 a.m. High tide at 3:42 p.m. At the East Pass in Destin on Wednesday, low tide at 12:51 a.m. High tide at 2:10 p.m. At the East Pass in Destin on Thursday, low tide at 2:14 a.m.
Alrighty, guys, we are back. Sorry for the wait here. We're just taking a little bit of a break. I hope you guys are doing good. Hope you guys are staying safe here. We're going to go ahead and go over everything really quickly once again in regard to what we can expect here down the line. We'll also be asking if you guys have any questions, so feel free to throw them down in the chat, and I will definitely...
Guys, we are back.
I did not mean to do that. I will definitely be able to hear, definitely be able to answer them for you guys. But like I said, guys, hope you all are having a wonderful night. Thank you all for joining us tonight. And I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day tonight. And like I said, we're going to be preparing you guys for the upcoming severe weather as well as the winter weather that is on the way here. And we're going to give you everything you need to know about it right now. So, switching on over here to the radar view in regard to what is currently happening here across the nation. We do have a bit of activity that's currently ongoing here at the moment. Now look at this. Across the southeast, you might notice this big old storm that's currently kicking off here. Especially across bits of the southeast. I mean, look at this. A lot of rain is currently falling across bits of Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee, and the Carolinas. We're actually seeing a little bit of heavy rain that's currently ongoing here across the region. Now, we do have a bit of snow, it does look like, currently falling across bits of western Kentucky into southeastern Missouri and northeastern Arkansas, according to the radar view here. Now, eventually, all this will track its way up here into the mid-Atlantic, maybe delivering some snowfall across bits of northern Virginia, across those upper elevations, possibly. We'll see what happens. You know, some of the models have been supporting it, some of them haven't, but we'll see how this plays out here. So, And then eventually this will track its way here into the northeast, eventually causing some snow to accumulate there. Mostly we're seeing, maybe 2 to 4 inches of snow across a lot of those areas here. Locally, higher amounts are possible, but this really does vary between what model you look at here. So we'll see. We'll see what these models have to say once again in regard to things. So that is what we are looking at here, guys. Now let's go ahead and take a look here at the future radar view in regard to what we can expect here, basically to happen here and down the line. So right now it is currently 9 o'clock. It just now turned 9 o'clock here. So we're going to go ahead and start off here at 9 o'clock. Note that this is in Eastern time, guys. So the time is right here in the upper right-hand corner where my highlighting right here. So if you guys do want to follow along with that. So if you guys are tracking in Central Time, this is 1 hour ahead of you. So this would be 8 o'clock p.m., just to let you know. There goes my camera again. Absolutely beautiful. That's probably the best one yet. You know I say that about every single one of them. Let's go ahead and get this back up. I seriously need to investigate and getting that camera fixed. I don't know why it keeps on doing that. But like I said, guys, we're taking a look at the future radar. We have all of this moisture driving its way up here across the northeast. This will continue to do so here over the next several hours. Courtney says, LOL camera. Yeah, I know. At this point, who even cares? It's pretty funny, honestly. It can be quite annoying, but, it is pretty funny, not going to lie. So like I said, seeing all this moisture drive its way up here to the northeast, eventually cross bits of the mid-Atlantic. Now, there has been some support of some of these models. This does not include this model, though, of showing some heavy snowfall across bits of northern Virginia into those upper elevations here. It's a possibility. Is it likely? It's fading away, honestly. However, we are still expecting some snow to occur across bits of Maryland into Pennsylvania, across bits of the northeast as well, as all this moisture drives its way up here to the northeast, as you are about to see here right now, if this thing would decide it wants to work now. But like I said, this will eventually track its way up here across the northeast here, eventually delivering some snowfall. And then we do have all the snow shower activity we were seeing across the west here. Across the west here, we have a lot of that action going on right here. Now, this will drive its way across bits of the central parts of the country, for bits of northern Kansas into southern Nebraska here. We're going to start to see some snowfall driving its way across the region here, as you can see right now. Now, this will be for the early morning hours for day after tomorrow. This will be for the 10th. It's going to start, it's actually going to start snowing here, essentially, for the early morning hours here for tomorrow morning. And it will continue to linger in. It'll get more stronger as it does drive its way through bits of northern Kansas into southern Nebraska here, eventually leading up into the bits of the Midwest. We'll see exactly what this is supposed to do. Then across the southeast, like we were saying, we're going to have this cold front drive its way through the region. And what that's going to do is maybe allow for some thunderstorms to pop off kind of for later on today and tomorrow, like we were seeing here. And then we're going to have another round of severe thunderstorms being possible across the southeast. Now, I don't think that was a mishap in terms of Storm Prediction Center. I think that was actually real, considering what we saw earlier here. And this is showing a possibility we could see some more storms firing off here, especially across bits of Florida and southeastern Alabama and 2 bits of Georgia, maybe southern South Carolina towards Hilton Head. Could be possible, kind of what we are seeing here. So we'll see what happens. That's kind of what we are expecting in terms of this. And then we're going to start to see a cold front drive its way through the region here, maybe delivering some more heavy snow across bits of the Central Plains into the Midwest, Ohio Valley, Tennessee Valley, Southeast, Mid-Atlantic, and Northeast being a possibility. And we honestly could expect some heavy accumulations here. That is still a few days out, but it's something we should not take lightly. Something we should definitely monitor here very, very closely. So, I tell you what, guys, we're going to go ahead and move on over here to the National Weather Service hazards. In regard to our current active hazards, we do have an effect here across the nation. Now, there's quite a few things going on here. Do not freak out, though. I mean, it's a lot, but honestly, we're going to go through this one by one here. So, kind of across this blue shaded color here. This could probably honestly use a better color here than white on white. It would not look so well. So essentially, we have kind of right here with this, blue shaded color here. This is essentially showing that we have some winter storm watches, basically showing that some impacts of winter weather is expected down the line, possibly. So just stay tuned if those are issued for winter storm warnings. Now, warning means take action. Watch means pay attention. Now, if a winter storm warning is issued, you should honestly be paying attention because that means that heavy winter weather is imminent and that is expected to ongoing. But right now, this is a watch, something we should continue monitoring here. Now, across the pink, that is another story. We have some winter storm warnings. Kind of across those upper elevations where we were seeing all of that snow shower activity across the region. Eventually, this will drive its way into the Central Plains here. Now, these are the places you should monitor very, very closely because we are expecting heavy impacts of winter weather to occur. And then we have the light blue, kind of showing that we have some winter weather advisories in effect, showing that some impacts of winter weather is possible. But, honestly, it's not really expected to be as bad as those areas here in the winter storm warnings here. Basically just a little heads up saying that, hey, conditions could get bad. We'll just need to monitor this over the next little bit here. And then across bits of the southwest, we have this tan shaded color. This is basically just some wind advisory showing that some gusty winds is expected to occur across the region. We have a small flood watch in effect across southwestern, basically bits of Oregon State here, showing that we could see some freezing temperatures come up here soon. And then lastly, we have a bunch of flood warnings that are currently kind of kicking off here across the green here. Kind of the lime green shaded color, basically showing that, essentially, we are expecting to see some flooding here that is imminent or it's ongoing. Means it's impending or it's already ongoing here. So we'll see what happens here. But that is what we are looking at. That's our current hazard. Oh, we actually do have a freeze warning in effect here. Barely see. I almost went off of looking at that. Across western side of California, this is basically showing we are expecting freezing conditions to occur. There goes my camera again. Would not be the first time it's done a lot this live stream. It's not the first time it's done it. It's probably done it like 5 times already. But yeah, that's what we are seeing here. But guys, that's essentially what we are talking about. So if you have any questions, guys, feel free to throw them down the chat here. We're kind of leaning towards the end of live stream here. We'll be live for another 8 minutes or so. So right now, guys, I'll tell you what. If you have any questions, now is the time to ask here. If you want to look at a specific product, let me know. I'm here to take questions if you guys, because obviously, like I said, I'm here for you guys 100% of the way, and I will be. And like I said, we're here to prepare you guys for these storms here. We're here to make sure that you guys are ready for these storms, and to give you as much time in advance as you can have, because obviously, safety is the number one concern here. And like I said, if you have any questions, we'll be here for you guys 100% of the way. So that is what we are talking about, guys. Honestly, like I said, we are expecting multiple rounds of severe weather to come around here, as well as, honestly, even some winter weather as well. We are expecting a lot of heavy impacts of winter weather to occur. So that is what we are talking about here. Now, if you guys have any questions, feel free to throw them down in the chat here. I just want to go ahead and say, guys, thank you all so much for all your support today. Thank you guys always for your support. You guys are the best. Just always know that. Just always know that, guys. You're the best. And like I said, if you are new to the channel, do me a favor. Consider hitting that subscribe button. We're on the road to 1,000 subs. The ultimate goal is to reach that by the end of this month. Now, it's going to be quite a tough challenge to do. But I believe we can do it. Because I know you guys are amazing. Seriously, you guys have absolutely crushed our previous goals. So we're setting a monster goal of 1,000 subscribers. Literally doubling our subscriber count here by the end of this month. We'll see how it goes. But anyways, guys, like I said, if you have any questions, throw them down in the chat. If you guys want a specific forecast in your area, if you are expecting winter weather or severe weather, there goes my camera. I literally was looking at my camera whenever that one went off. I caught that one red-handed. That was actually pretty funny, not gonna lie. So let's go ahead and fix my camera here again. Alright, let's see. Jenny says, how much does global warming have to do with this? It's kind of a heated topic. Obviously, the Earth is heating up, yes. And the more heat you do have, the more, honestly, the more potential of more storms, because there's more evaporation goes on, more condensation. There's a lot more storms being made, So this is being impacted, most likely indirectly by global warming, but it is, honestly, it is still impacting. But like I also said, a lot of things is that it's kind of a tough decision to talk about. I mean, because literally, we are also coming out of an ice age, which means, obviously we were in a colder period than we are now. So obviously things are going to continue to warm up here. And also, the modern age of observations and technology, such as observational stations like ASOS and Mesonet and all of those equipments there, honestly, those are just now starting to get pretty good. And we didn't have those that good of accuracy and over that many of those stations here. Seriously, not many of those stations a long time ago. So honestly, new data is coming in. We're starting to get kind of used to it. We're literally still in pretty much the beginning of the science age. It's really not that old. We're getting more observations. We know that we're coming out of an ice age. So it is kind of a question. Now, there is higher CO2 traces, which is likely caused by a greenhouse gas, or it is a greenhouse gas, but it's likely being caused by humans. I mean, that is a very probable scenario. But, honestly, it's kind of hard to tell. I feel like some people are making a more bigger deal of it than it actually is. I mean, yeah, it's a pretty big deal, but like I said, Science Age is new. We are just now coming out of a colder period, being the Ice Age here, in regard to that. But that is the answer to the question. That's all I have for that one. So like I said, guys, if you have any questions, feel free to throw them down in the chat. I'll definitely be here for y'all. Dragon Z says, what's up? What's up, Dragon Z? Welcome to the live stream. Hope you're doing good, man. Glad to see you here. Like I said, that's my personal stance on that whole situation there. I mean, definitely, I believe it's possible, but I believe it's also a lot more of the coming out of an Ice Age factor, and also the more of the birth of observations and the birth of science. I feel like that's more of a kind of more what we're looking at here. Because like I said, there's more better equipment now. There's much more accurate precision data coming in, as well as a lot more stations. You got to think, a couple hundred years ago, back when we were recording the weather, essentially we had stations, but we didn't have as many of them, and they weren't as accurate. Now we have a lot more of them, and they're a lot more precise and a lot more precision now. So I bet you over the next 100, 200 years, out of our lifetimes, we're going to start to see some very interesting data coming in compared to what we have seen over the last few years. Because seriously, I mean, even probably in our lifetimes, to be honest, even within the next 20, 30 years, honestly, we're going to start to see some pretty crazy stuff. And, honestly, this is another subject that's kind of get sidetracked here, but it's kind of cool. It's wondering what you're going to think here, or it's wondering what it's going to be like in the future with new weather models. It's going to be like, how accurate are they going to be? I mean, obviously they're not perfect right now. They're far from perfect. There's still a lot more that needs to be done, and they're based off of just scientific equations. Now, they're obviously not 100% correct, but that is what we are talking about. Dragon Z says, I think Storm Prediction Center underestimated a severe weather event on March 5th, like a severe thunderstorm watch and a generic severe thunderstorm risk at 2, 3 in the morning. Weird. I was in Indianapolis, I think. Yeah, we saw some pretty crazy weather that day. We really did. We saw multiple tornado reports. I mean, even just, yesterday, we had a lot of wind reports across the Northeast. We'll go and look at that here. I kind of want to show you this. That's good I remembered that. Good for bringing that up, because I would have totally forgot here. So, here's the latest reports here. This was from yesterday, the 7th. Look at how many blue reports we have here. So basically what this is all of your wind reports here. Every single little blue dot you have is a wind report. And this square dot is an excessive wind report here. So that is 277 damaging wind reports showing of multiple trees down, multiple power lines down, a lot of craziness. And this little black square that you see here, this is a very significant one, showing that it probably got up to 70 miles per hour, which is very crazy. Has some very strong winds. And honestly, that did cause a lot of damage here. Now, going back here to the 6th here, there's a few, kind of a mixture of tornado wind and hail reports here. Going back to the 5th here, 5th was kind of a bit crazier. 5th, we had a total of 205 reports, 39 tornado reports here, especially right where that low is located here. Right around in there. And, honestly, look at this long trail of them. There is a long tornado we were tracking here for at least a few hundred miles. I mean, look at this. Look at this long track tornado that's literally reported here. I mean, we have several reports here. It looks like a bomb field of just straight up reports, one after another here. And, seriously, there's a lot of them, too. There's even some across bits of Illinois, one across bits of north central Indiana, one across western Ohio, southern Wisconsin, and most of them were located here across bits of central and southern Iowa, kind of where you can see the greatest threat. But anyways, guys, it is now 9:15, so we're going to go ahead and call it a stream. If you guys did enjoy it, make sure you give a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. It'll help us out, guys. So if you're not already, hit the subscribe button. It'd be greatly appreciated. Like I said, guys, we give you the latest weather updates in regard to things. If you guys do want to support the channel, our link is in the description as well in the chat. It'll help us out. more than you guys think. So honestly, thank you all so much for being here tonight. Hope you all stay safe. If you have any further questions, feel free to comment on our latest video here. We just posted earlier today, earlier this afternoon. So if you guys have any further questions, you guys can even join our Discord here, or follow us on social media and make sure you tag us. And, we'll give you guys the information that you need to know in order to be safe in regard to that. So, but honestly, guys, thank you so much for joining us. Hope you all have a wonderful rest of your night. Now, like I said, we might go live here tomorrow. We'll see what happens. Because like I said, I do have work tomorrow. Obviously, it depends on what time I get done and also what time severe weather pops off here. So, depending on that, we might go live tomorrow. It is not a guarantee, but I would say it's a most likely probability. So we'll see what happens. But anyways, guys, thank you all so much for joining us. Blake says, see ya. See you later, Blake. Thank you so much for joining. Jenny says, peace. See you later, Jenny. Thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. I really do appreciate all your support here. So, guys, thank you all so much. I'll be sure to catch you guys in tomorrow's live stream. Thank you guys so much for joining, and I'll catch you all here in the next one. See you later, guys.
Southwest 13 to 18 knots. Waves around 2 feet. Patchy fog. Slight chance of showers and thunderstorms in the evening. Showers and chance of thunderstorms after midnight. For Wednesday,